What's going on, guys? For today's video, I'm going to be talking about, as simple as it sounds, nature in fashion. Obviously in this channel I talk a lot about business aspects of fashion, marketing, and the design elements, and sometimes a culmination of all of that. And I talk a lot about inspiration, whether that be like music or just common interest. For me, example, I have soccer is a big one, own hobbies like chess. But today I was kind of scrolling through and I was like, nature is one that we kind of overlook, and a lot of brands utilize it to some degree. So yeah, just thought it'd be kind of interesting to look at the use of just nature inspiration in fashion, whether you are stuck creatively and might be looking for a new outlet or somewhere to look. So yeah, just wanted to kind of go over that. And without further ado, I'll get right into it. Okay, cool. So this first one, this first example I have is this guy slash brand Ryan X New. And we have this honeycomb jacket. Now, personally, I think this is pretty badass. Looks cool. It's made of this, like, I think leather-like material. And yeah, really just took inspiration from like a honeycomb with bees. And came up with this really cool jacket. I don't know if there's more photos of it. Yeah, there might not be any better. So this is the only shot we have, so I don't really exactly know how the front looks, but again, just using inspiration from, like kind of the end of the day, what I want to get to with this is just next time you're in a creative block, maybe just take a walk outside, look around, and truthfully, you can find inspiration anywhere. Like I said before, for me, I use a lot of my personal hobbies for inspiration as well as music a ton. And yeah, sometimes you can just walk outside and find inspiration for, from something in nature or really just any everyday object you might find. But yeah, looking at really like nature and kind of animals today and things like that, we have this honeycomb jacket, super fire. Next up, wanted to shout this really dope artist Kenya on. I believe they're Russian. I could be wrong. Yeah, I think they're Russian, and they do just a ton of crazy footwear design. Some of this is real. Some of it I think is just like renders or mock-ups. Just really cool artists. Definitely take a look at them. But this one I found they did these stone boots. They went a step further too with this whole like moss. I don't even know what you want to call it. All over piece. But yeah, found these. Did these stone boots. Like I've said before, if you're able to tap into footwear, obviously that's something that requires a lot more money due to sampling costs and molds and things of that nature. So I get the R&D side of that is very expensive, but they can definitely pay off if you're able to do shoes for your brand. Even if you aren't a clothing brand, still think just shoes are something to tap into. But yeah, we have these stone boots, super just very new concept. Like I can guarantee you've never seen something like these boots. And yeah, super fire. How practical they are, I don't know. What would people think if you wore these outside? Don't know, definitely get some looks. But again, just taking inspiration from something like stone and rocks and whatnot and moss and created these really cool one-of-a-kind boots. Don't know if these actually released or not, but again, super fire and went viral with over 500,000 likes, so can't even imagine how many impressions that is. Next up, I'm sure we've seen before, but different like animal prints. We've seen leopards right here. I'm sure you've seen cheetah prints, all kinds of stuff, even like snake skin, things like that. But yeah, Akimbo Club, they do a lot of like essentials, if you will, more or less pieces. And yeah, they did this leopard print set. Sold extremely well. Like I said, they also did a snakeskin variant. So just something to be thinking about too if you're doing some type of like print. I myself use a lot of all over prints from like logos and things of that nature, but definitely can use, of course, the old like camo or like I think this is an actual Real Tree collab. So yeah, using like literal like again animal prints or nature prints, like making your own type of camo pattern. Something a lot of brands do, and still think there's a lot of room for innovation within this as well. Next up, we have the brand Tombogo. Did this really cool soil layer puffer jacket. I like the more conceptual pieces. That's something that I definitely like to tap into with design. So yeah, you have like the different layers of like soil. You have like the bedrock, and then the other three I don't remember from biology class, like what sedimentary and some other stuff. I don't know, but yeah, you have these layers of the soil. So broken down like that, you have the 4 layers, including the bedrock or rock, whatever. Super cool jacket. Visually looks very aesthetically pleasing, so it has a wearability aspect to it. Also references nature, and yeah, I think this is just a complete product Love it all the way around. I think sometimes pieces can be too like conceptual, if you will, and not really like be super wearable or presentable. And other ones can be the opposite, where they're a little too maybe like on the nose and require a little bit more. I don't know. I just like when they're a little bit more creative like this. All around super dope piece. Tom Bogo's been doing some cool stuff for a while, so definitely go check them out. Wanted to highlight this quick Palace piece that this one's been on my radar for a while. They released it back in fall winter 2020. So yeah, I think this one goes for like $400 or $500 on Grailed or StockX. But yeah, it's a very simple like Sherpa fleece jacket called the Palaska fleece. Literally just showcasing like this I'm assuming Alaskan like mountain print reference, and then the sun in the background with this cool they have like this daytime colorway, and then it's like purple colorway, a little different. I know these sold obviously super well, and then they even did an updated kind of version. This one is the Appalachian funnel fleece, but kind of similar concept, but a little more the print's a little more higher res. But yeah, again, super dope concept. I like the idea of applying a cool graphic onto Sherpa. It's been done before, but with nature. Really think these are simple but very effective. And so yeah, don't overthink it, and think about how you can be applying different images you take, or finding references on the web, or just anything like that within nature. Instead of maybe looking at towards doing like a graphic tee with like your logo on it, doing different mediums like a Sherpa fleece and trying to again apply that to that medium. Next up, we have the brand, I might butcher this, but Perts de Go. I forget. I think they're Portuguese, maybe. Yeah, I think they're Portuguese. I can't remember. So they do a ton of different just types of outerwear. But yeah, they've also done some of this kind of more like House of Errors-esque jacket with the high detailed stitching and the kind of puffer qualities that it has. Yeah, super cool piece. This one references Mount Fuji. So again, they tapped into something that's pretty well known. Obviously, like naturally looks cool. In terms of like designing this, I don't know how much work went into it versus like taking a stock photo or whatever, and then like digitizing it and breaking it up into much smaller pieces for them to do all the stitches and lines and whatnot. But again, super cool piece. Looks dope. Again, I think is like a cool, maybe not super conceptual. It's pretty like basic from that regards, but again, the details that went into this matter. Having a good manufacturer to do something like this matters, and they came up with a pretty cool piece. Again, kind of similar to what House of Errors has been doing with a lot of their stuff, but still feels very different and not immediately like, oh, this is House of Errors. I like it. It's a dope piece. And yeah, references something also that's like very well known. So there's that element to it as well. Next up, probably one of the brands I think taps into just like nature design in general a ton at a very high degree is this brand Yaai, Yaai.la. I believe it's ran by a guy, and he does a lot of just really cool outerwear that's often done with like hand stitching or just really high quality stitching and high stitch count stuff. So this example, we have this, he said it was inspired by this camping trip in the Inyo National Forest in Cali. So again, just really taking inspiration from anywhere you might visit in nature, wherever that could be. And something like this looks super dope. Again, very aesthetically pleasing, has clearly a good manufacturer to do this high level of stitching quality, and I'm sure charged a couple $100 for something like this. Super crazy, really dope piece. Yeah, I definitely think this is something that can still be tapped into a lot more. Different people can experiment for their own brands, and yeah, just really dope design. Definitely check him out. He does a lot of stuff involving like flowers and floral prints, and again, other types of like nature design, if you will. This one's definitely like a clear difference from the previous one. Everything's like higher end, like semi higher luxury. A couple $100 for pieces, but not like hundreds or into the thousands. But yeah, high quality and high, just overall, just like really high degree of, just quality and good work done on these. This one's definitely one of his most popular ones from the Japan. Yeah, he did this one in Japan. Got the cherry blossom trees, super cool. Definitely check them out. Next one, bit of a different one, but shout out just Online Ceramics. One of my favorite brands, especially just because of the graphic tees they do. I think they have some of the best graphic tees like out of anyone. Now that they kind of split the two founders on the brand, I don't know how that's gonna go. But this one, as of October, was dropped, and I wasn't able to get this one, but definitely on my list. Hope to find it on Grailed. Super dope piece. Gives me that old kind of like textbook vibe, but done on obviously like a graphic tee. Super dope. Again, using like animals on graphic tees or whatever is like not anything new, but I don't think it's something that's still done a ton. Not as much, at least. I don't feel like I see it a lot, or at least done in like a creative or aesthetically pleasing way, especially within like streetwear. You might see it more like if you go to the mall and see, you know, at whatever generic store, some type of, you know, animal print or theme thing. But this one's super dope. Again, really like the textbook kind of vibes from it. And yeah, just shout out On Ceramics, one of the best graphic tee brands in my opinion. Next up, we have this brand Walden King. Different garment, right? Instead of using like a clothing like a jacket, t-shirt, whatever, we actually have a card holder. And I thought it was cool how this brand Walden King, a pretty small brand, I think they only have like a couple thousand followers on IG. I found them. They did this really cool, again, just like simple nature-ish inspired card holder design. We have these mountains and then the little sun in the background. So yeah, really can use like nature as inspiration for any type of product. Like I'm curious to see how people use like nature and design for more like accessories, like a card holder, maybe like a watch, maybe like some glasses. Like I think there's a lot of potential to continue to use like something like nature and just everyday things you see into things outside of your traditional t-shirts and pants and hoodies and whatnot. So yeah, I just want to shout this out because it's definitely something different. And I think they have a ton of other designs. They also incorporate a lot of animals into their designs, like this little alligator one. They have the dinosaur one. They have some different like prints with this. They even have this little hippo one. Yeah, I thought it was cool because I did this recent series. I think these also might be kind of referencing like mountains or hills, kind of, well, at least looks like it. But they had this little series again with these different colors. And this just call it a masterpiece of nature, number 3. And yeah, simple but effective design. And then lastly, to end us off, I will want to shout out Badson. Talked about them several times. Yeah, just because they do such good work. And this is their overgrowth denim. If you're not familiar with them, check them out first of all. Probably one of the best streetwear / fashion brands there is right now. Especially for, I believe, even though it might be somewhat more expensive to if you don't spend a ton of money on clothes. But I think for what you're getting, it's very fairly priced. Like their jeans are generally around like $180. And the detail on these is crazy. And so they've been doing this overgrowth series for a while where they've done like 3 or 4 editions of something similar to this. And so that, again, just the attention to detail is super high. But yeah, in some ways, I think like when we've seen other clothing brands do stuff with like, not saying like roses, but like vines and flowers and things like that, oftentimes it's come across as like tacky or just like not really well done. It's been kind of overdone. But the way they've managed to utilize, again, this type of overgrowth concept of like the vines / like flowers and whatnot was done in a really cool way, in my opinion. And they did this just massive embroidery on it, along with all the extra pockets and smocking and things like that nature. And I've done this one a couple times. So yeah, super, super fire. Again, utilizing like nature into their design. And this most recent one, I think these were called the cherry blossom one. So again, slightly different concept, but very much similar to the previous ones they did. And yeah, clearly utilized like nature into their design elements and created a very, very just awesome piece of basically art, honestly. So yeah, I'll leave it there today. Just wanted to kind of, mix it up. Really trying to make a lot of videos on things that I never see like covered. Yeah, just thought it would be something cool and different. I spent a lot of time just on Instagram looking at different brands and what different designers are doing. And just thought nature was a cool theme that not really ever like talked about. And there's a lot of brands that tap into it from time to time. And even my own brand, Apologetic Letters. I did this hoodie like a while ago that was Catches Point Flea Market and nature designed, and did a donation for Earth Day and all that kind of stuff. Was really cool. But yeah, I think nature is definitely something to look into for your brand design. And even just product design in general doesn't necessarily have to be clothes. So yeah, I wanted to give you guys some good options and good inspiration, and hopefully at least help you if you're in some type of creative block or just looking for new places for inspiration. Yeah, somewhere new to look. So again, like this video, please. If you gain any value from this, drop a comment, positive or negative. I don't care, guys. Just want to make these videos better. Tell me what to improve on, what you want to hear next. And please, please, please subscribe if you have not already. Big goals for this year. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.